It is Sunday, and it is already a crazy, emotional roller coaster. So I just have encountered the scariest thing in my life yesterday, which was my father had a heart attack. So yeah, so we're still navigating that. He's gonna be hospitalized for at least a week, and I'm feeling a lot of feelings around me, but I really want to read because I feel like I need to escape the reality that I'm in right now. So I'm going to do some chores around the house. There was a lot I needed to get done yesterday that obviously I did not. So now I need to get them done today. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to try to find something to listen to and read. I'm also pet sitting a little French bulldog. So I've got 3 dogs staying or living in my house, except instead of 2. So I'm trying to like make sure that they're getting along, which they are for the most part, but they still like need supervised because they don't know each other very well. So I just have a lot in my noggin. So I'm going to find something to read, and hopefully I'll hit you back up either today or tomorrow when I've actually done so.
I let you down, and I know that I was not always around. I made you feel alone. You spent most of your nights just sitting on your own. I should have done so much more, like giving you the things you asked me for. And I know I was wrong. It's what I try to tell you with my song, tell you with my song. What if I said I'm sorry? What if I'd make a scene? Wouldn't that make you mine again? You're all I'll ever need. Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while? I know that I've done so many things that let you down, but I hope that you give me one more chance to make you mine.
Hello, darlings. It is Monday, and I have so much in my head, so much in my brain, so much that I'm doing. It's like there's just a lot. Can I be vulnerable for a second? Am I allowed to do that? I think I'm allowed to do that. I feel like as a collective we just need to be more vulnerable with each other, but can I be vulnerable with you for a second? Okay, great. So my father just had a major heart attack, and we were told that he has major heart disease, which was news to all of us. And there's just a lot. There's a lot of feelings, there's a lot of emotions, and there's a lot of fear. I feel like the main emotion I'm feeling right now is just like, can I revoke my firstborn daughter card? Because this shit's bogus, man. I have to be the one that's there for my mom now and my sister, and I have to be the one that's there for like the family drama and keeping it away from my mom because there's so much family drama in my family that it's disgusting. My parents and I don't have the greatest relationship just because of like my personal choices, and they don't align. Like we all have different political views and different religious views, and I just really don't agree with my parents' views, and my parents don't really agree with my views, and we've argued about it over the years, but like at the end of the day we always seem to come together. But here in the past like several years, since 2020 when COVID hit, I feel like that the tension and everything with my family has just been so much more like tense, for lack of a better word. It's really hard for me to be present with my family for long periods of time. And I'm like, I'm not trying to come on the internet and bash my fucking parents. It's not what I'm trying to do. This is just the things that I'm feeling, and it's just bleh. But I am about to go visit my dad in the hospital. I had to basically restructure my entire week because Saturday, the day he had the heart attack, I was supposed to go do so many things, and I obviously had to like not do those. I have to go back to work tomorrow, and it's just like, and like my bosses are out of town, so I'm in charge of the vet hospital that I work at, and so that means like I'm the one that is on call for everything, and clearly, like, mentally, emotionally, physically, it's gonna be really hard because I'm about to really be helping my mother out with my sister and her house. Well, my sister lives with my parents because she is autistic. And then I'm pet sitting like a dog this week. So, like, there's so much going on. Like, there's so much happening, which makes it very difficult for me to want to be present for all of this. Anyway, on another note, I just got a new library card. I'm so excited. Look at it. Look at it. I'm so happy I got a library card. I got this because Libby, when you use the Libby app, because a temporary card renews like every 4 weeks, mine just expired and I had like 6 holds that came in. And when your temporary library card expires, you have to like get another one, but it doesn't transfer your holds to the new temporary card. So I had like 6 holds that I had been waiting for 4 weeks that I had to like let go because my library card fucking expired. So now I have a permanent library card. I'm so excited. Anyway, and then as a treat to myself for going to the gym and for dealing with all of this with my father, I went to Half Price Books and I got a few books. So I did pick up A Love Letter to Whiskey. This is said to be like a really toxic romance. And I don't know what it is lately, but I'm into that. I'm about to read Magnolia Parks, and I think I'm going to read Magnolia Parks and then read this as well. So we'll have like a toxic romance reading vlog coming at you very soon. And then I picked up book 3 of the Legendborn cycle, which is Oathbound. Look at this. Look at this book. Oh my God, it's freaking huge. I'm so excited. I read, so this is so funny. When I first started getting back into reading, well, getting back into it is like, that's a very loose interpretation. When I first started reading again after high school, it was in, I think 2019, 2020, I went and I picked up Legendborn. It was whenever it first came out. I know that because it was in Half Price Books in the new bestseller section, and I had no idea what to pick up. I was like, what do I read? Like, I don't know. So I picked it up. I read like the first, I want to say 50% of the book, and then I put it down and never picked it up again. Not because it was bad, because I just was not into reading at this point in my life. So I have like never picked it back up again. And I remember, what's so funny is I remember the first 50%. And I'm like, that means that it was a good book, because it was like my first, genuinely, it was my first book with a Black protagonist. Hello? My first book, excluding any books I read in like middle school or high school for school, like the, oh God, there's a book that's like in my head, like the Thunder, wasn't the Thunder, oh God, what was it called? The Thunder Kids or something? Why do I feel like it was called the Thunder Kids? Fever dream happening in my brain right now. Anyway, so I really am excited to dive into this. This will definitely also be a reading vlog, all 3 of these. And then I picked up a book that I'm almost certain I already have. And if I do, whoops, but I'll just gift it to someone. I'm going to go home and figure out that I already have this book.
Why are you the way that you are?
I just have this feeling and I trust my intuition. But it's called Stoneblind by Natalie. The thing is covering her name, by Natalie something. I have a feeling I already have this book because it's Medusa, and I'm really into my whole like, yeah, Medusa was fucking framed, fam. She was fucking framed. So I think I have it in the paperback copy, but if I do, I'm just gonna gift it to somebody because personally, Natalie Haynes, because personally, this book is stunning, and I think I like it better in the hardcover. That is the tea in the shade. I'm about to go into the hospital because it's right next door to the library, actually. And yeah, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna try not to, because it's not about me. I think that's the other thing, is it's not about me. And the other thing is too, is like, I'm big into like what my higher self would think. Like, my higher self is like, Julia, it's not your responsibility to be the first daughter. It's not your responsibility to take care of your parents. And it's not your responsibility to be there and be more than you can be. I know that. But my ego self, my inner child self is telling me that I need to. And I think there is still a part of me that I really just want to be loved and accepted by my family. And by doing the most, I just feel like I'm going to get that. Though my higher self knows I'm never going to get that. I also think that it's just me being a good person. Like, I need to be there for my dad. I do care about my dad. I've cried all fucking weekend. Clearly, I love my dad. I think it got to the point where it got so bad that I considered going no contact with my parents. And the only thing that ever stops me is the fact of my younger sister, because my younger sister she is on the spectrum. She's on the spectrum in a way that she is very nonverbal at times. She has a lot of anxiety. And so like there's a lot of wiggles with her. So I never want to go no contact, because what if something happens to my parents and then I have to be there for her? Like it's just a lot of that. I'm only saying this and putting this out on the internet because I know other firstborn daughters probably understand. This is not a pity me. This is not a like, oh my God, your life is so terrible. It's not. My life is pretty fucking good. Okay. So before anyone comes to me like, girl, people have it worse than you. Yeah, I know. But also I don't subscribe to that narrative. If you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. It doesn't mean that someone down the street who might be having a bad day too is having it worse than you. Okay. So I just recognize so many things about the situation, and there's just not a good option. There's just not a good option with this. But anyway, if any other firstborn daughters in the comments want to sound off, feel free, because I feel you, I see you, I understand you. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the hospital now. I'm gonna stop yapping my gums, and I'll check in with you guys later.
Prologue. Before. Tom. I am desperately, painfully, completely, and stupidly in love. Her name is Daisy. We met when we were 4 years old. I've been in love with the girl since age 4. That's how pathetic I am. I saw her at the playground feeding bits of her sandwich to the hungry squirrels, and all I could think was that I had never met any living creature as beautiful or as kind as Daisy.
Hello, my treasures. It is the end of my workday. And, oh baby, today was a long one. Funnily enough, though, I did start and almost finish a book. We gotta give credit where it's due. So I am currently working through The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden because I am in a reading slump, clearly, and thrillers usually bring me out of it. And honestly, Frida McFadden's thrillers, they're just such like, they're not subpar, but they're mid-grade. We'll just call them like mid-grade level books, that they're not like the most stunningly written thrillers I've ever read, but they do the job. They do the job, and they're what I'm here for. And honestly, that's all I can ask. I probably can finish it by tonight, and then I might pick up either another book by her or just another thriller in general tomorrow. I started my period today. Love that for me. So I'm cramping a lot. Why is it that, wasn't I on my period in the last weekly reading vlog? Which technically was a month ago. Ugh, we just love a monthly cycle. Anyway, so I'm probably gonna go walk on my walking pad for a little bit and finish that up. And then I'm either gonna play like some Monster Hunter Wilds, or I'm just gonna go to bed. I don't know. I'm so exhausted. My dad is up and walking as of today, so that's great. I'm still planning on maybe coming home Friday, if not earliest Thursday. So that's really good. And the family drama has calmed down, so that's also really good for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go work on those things, and I will catch up with you guys in a bit. trust any of these bitches. Oh, also, welcome back to Julia's Bed Diaries. This is a chronic thing you're gonna be with. If you're new to this channel, welcome to Julia's Bed Diaries. I don't trust any of these bitches. And I know that that's not saying much given that this is a Frida McFadden book, but I don't trust anyone. Like, I know her writing. I know I said it in the last video, but I know her writing. And she really loves to pull plot twists out of her fucking ass. And some of them are more believable than others, I will say that, but some doesn't feel right. I'm currently on page 302. I'm 82% of the way through this book. I'm almost to the point where we should be getting reveals. And we just got a reveal, but I'm sitting here like, Have I even told you what this book is about? Probably not. So this book follows Sydney. This book follows a girl who is an accountant, and she's just like struggling to find love basically, and she's on this dating app called Cinch, which apparently is a real dating app. Interesting. All of her friends are also like either attached or unattached. And so what ends up happening is she goes on this really fucking weird ass date where her date tries to assault her, and then he starts stalking her. But that's not the weird part. The weird part is her best friend is dating some doctor, Dr. McHottie, and they don't really know much about him, but then her best friend turns up dead. And obviously they're thinking like, oh, Dr. McHottie, like he's the one that did it. And then like months later, Sydney starts dating this like fabulous doctor guy. Coincidence? I think not. But you're probably also thinking like, oh, well then like that's it. Then that's the plot of the book. No, because it's never that simple. Frida McFadden is so good about literally, what I'm telling you, she pulls plot twists out of her fucking ass and they work. But the thing is, I also have problems with her writing a lot of the time because she writes the most insufferable main female characters I have ever met in my fucking life. They're so insufferable. They're so stupid. See, that's the thing. The only way that Frida's fucking plot twists, though, work is because her main characters are so fucking stupid. And it's, like, such a discredit to us as women because it's like, we are not this dumb. Like, me, I would have already figured this fucking mystery out. Toot sweet! Like, why are you writing women like that, Frida? Why are you doing that? We're not dumb. We are not fucking dumb. Some of us are dumb, but not all of us. So why are you doing us like that? Goddamn. I just thought I would have some words before now. I don't. See, this is what I'm saying. She just has this way of pulling a plot twist out of her ass. Although, I will say that I called this plot twist. I did. For once, I can actually say that I called this plot twist. And I don't even know why necessarily. Although, she did trip me up at one point because I was like, there was a comment that like, the person that I thought it was, like it just couldn't be that person. And I was like, oh, okay. And I took it for what it was, like an idiot. God, Frida really, like, she's got a formula, man. She really does. Like, she really loves to trick you. Like, she does a really good job of casting suspicion on all these people. But that's the thing. Now that I am getting to know her formula, it's the people that don't get suspicion cast on them that I have to look out for. Because, goddamn, like, whoo, baby. I finished it. And here's the thing. I don't know what to rate it. I don't know what to rate this book because to me it is the equivalent. Like, I feel like if I had been in a different mood, I would be ranting about this book like I did with Never Lie. Because Sydney was such a fucking idiot. I like how it ended. But like, is there gonna be another book? So I finished it. I think maybe I'll rate it 3 stars. I feel like in my heart of hearts, it's a 3-star book. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I would just like to point out that I hate and love, but mostly hate, how every book thriller with a woman is just us fighting for our fucking lives, okay? Like, I just started You Shouldn't Be Here by Geneva Rose, and I'm just gonna be honest, the fact that the visceral fear I have reading about a woman alone in some abandoned gas station with this man coming towards her, like, just even in the last book, there was certain moments where I was like, oh girl, you are a woman alone at night. What is you doing, baby? I'm having sympathy sweats for this fucking woman, okay? So like, hate it, but oh yeah, I love the representation, but I fucking hate that it needs to be there. Good morning, my darlings. Really quick, because I have to get to work. I have started You Should Never Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. I read like 10 pages of it last night, and that was about it, and then I went to bed. So my plan is to maybe listen to it at work today. Also, I'm kind of coming back slowly into like my smutty era. It's probably because I'm on my period, to be honest with you. So I might pick up like a smutty read as well to listen to. Not sure yet, but I definitely will be listening to You Should Never Come Here by Geneva Rose, and I will let you know how it is in a little bit. Treasures. It is the end of another work day, and I have been pretty productive for someone whose brain is literally in 15 different places. I am 67% of the way through You Should Never Have Come Here, and I am on chapter 5 of Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I was reading that a little bit during Katie Colson's sprints earlier today. So I'll have something to pick up when I'm done, but then I kind of had a conundrum. I had a little bit of conundrum that maybe y'all can help me solve. I started The Hunger Games and finished it last year. Yeah, I believe so. Right before we moved into this house. My thought was originally I was going to do an entire vlog of reading The Hunger Games because I'm reading them for the very first time. I've never read them before. I have seen the movies, but growing up, I never was on like the bandwagon of Hunger Games because everyone was so hyped about them, and I'm just always so leery of when shit gets hyped. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Fourth Wing. I only read The Hunger Games and never read Catching Fire or Mockingjay. So now that it's a year later, I don't know if I just want to restart The Hunger Games and now read all 5 books, because I also have not read the 4th book, the Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds or something. I don't know. There is like a limited edition sprayed edge version of The Hunger Games, which I'm gonna be honest, the box set looks gorgiana. And I have like these 3 beat up books that I got from Half Price Books because like they were cheap. But I'm like, I kind of want to invest in like that box set and then get the pretty edition of Sunrise on the Reaping. You know? So yeah, that's my current dilemma. Because I want to start Sunrise on the Reaping after I finish, but I want to continue Sunrise on the Reaping after I finish You Should Never Come Here. A lot of people during the stream, Katie Colston stream, was talking about like how they wanted to go back and read The Hunger Games after reading this book. But I'm like, I've never read the other books though. So I'm like, should I read like the trilogy, the quartet or whatever first and then come back to this book because it's my first time? Or because I've watched the movies, so I get enough of the vibe, and should I just read this book? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping my gums because these 3 dogs. This is why I don't own 3 of my own dogs, because 3 is just too much. It's just too much. I don't know how my parents have 5 dogs, but 3 is just too much. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm either gonna sit outside for a little bit because it's a really nice day, or I'm gonna go upstairs and like I was gonna say walk on my walking pad. I'm gonna sit on my Peloton and do a Peloton class while I read, or walk on my walking pad. I don't know yet, but whatever I decide, I'm gonna bring you along.
I see the crossroads coming up ahead. A choice I made, but haven't made yet. Why do pathways feel so threatening? What ifs are never ending? Caught in the shadow of what might be. A future I fear, but still cannot see. Wait up, tomorrow should be easier. What if I leap and it's not what I fear? Oh.
Y'all, this book is so fucking wild. Like, I've not read a lot of Geneva Rose's work. I think I've only read Home is Where the Bodies Are and The Perfect Marriage, which I hated. Listen. Which page am I on? 270? And there's like 304 pages of the book. I'm like shaking a little bit. Like, this book, have I even told you what this book is about? Probably fucking not, because it's so damn crazy. So this book is about Grace, okay? And Grace is here on vacation in Wyoming, which is my dream place to live. No joke. That's been my dream place to live since watching Flicka when I was like 13 years old. Anyway, she's staying in an Airbnb, which is a ranch owned by Calvin. And Calvin is an interesting character. She's here for, I think it was only supposed to be a couple days, like a week. And it's like day 9. We start the book with her basically like freaking out about a gas station attendant, and then she like floors her car all the way to the Airbnb where it like breaks down. And so what ends up happening is that Calvin and Grace start to like fall in love. Or well, fall in lust? I don't know. You get the feeling that both Calvin and Grace have secrets. And not only is she staying at this Airbnb, but she's a part, like, it's a small town of Dubois, Wyoming. And so it's like small town secret vibes, and it's very much like outsiders are not fucking wanted here, okay? If you are outside of this little clan village thing, you're not allowed. There are so many people that are shady. And if I've learned anything from Frida McFadden books, is that I'm trying to find like the shady, like the non-shady character, but there isn't any. There's 2 POVs in this book, Grace and Calvin. So, like, arguably, you would think one of the theories is, like, those 2 are safe. They couldn't have done anything. But, like, then there's all these other people, and all of them, like, have something going on. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? This is a lot of buildup, and I'm literally, I think, 80%, no, I'm probably at 90% of completion of this book. And I'm like, we gotta be wrapping this up soon. And I just feel like that this is gonna be a lot of buildup for fucking no payoff. There's just something not fucking right. Like, there's ex-girlfriends, there's fucking, like, love triangles, there's bitches not taking their fucking medications. It's just like, everyone is a fucking suspect. I'm sus of the fucking dog at this point, okay? And there's not even a dog in this book.
A few moments later.
What? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. What? Of all the plot twists I could have called, that was not one of them. It's got Butcher and Blackbird vibes. You know? It's got Butcher and Blackbird vibes. For real. So I can't be mad at it. Like, yeah. it set out to do something, and it fucking did it. This book, it was such like a slow start, but then it really picked up by chapter 27. But this is the thing, like, there are probably people out there that would have called this, truthfully, because it's pretty obvious what's happening, is the aspect of you're not quite sure what's happening because it couldn't possibly be that that's too obvious. But as I got closer to the end, I was like, there's just really something not right about all this, and pieces aren't fitting together the way they're supposed to be fitting. The ending almost really doesn't make any sense. In fact, the ending is a really cheap ending. There is really no emotional impact to it at all. I was bordering on rating this. At first I was like, okay, 5 stars because of the ending. Now that I'm sitting here contemplating it, I don't think I can give this book 5 stars. I think it's maybe 3.5. It was good. I'm not gonna lie about it. But it was really slow, and it just didn't twist. The twist was just wasn't like impactful enough. Would I recommend this book? Maybe I'll start there. I would recommend it. I would recommend it if you're just in the mood for something really quick. But if you've read this book, let me know if like you guessed it, or if it took you till the ending to know what the fuck was happening, because I had so many guesses. I was ping-ponging guesses fucking left and right. Near the end, though I'm not going to say that I like guessed the twist. Near the end, though, I had an inkling of like the twist that happened is close to one of the theories that I had, but it's not identical. I could not have called that probably in a million years, but I do think that it was similar. I always say this, don't I? I'm always like, yeah, I like had an inkling. Which I do. That's the funny thing. I don't always call the twist, but I get like this inkling of like, this has got to be what it is because it can't be anything else. Is that because I'm smart, or is that because I just literally like just settle and I'm just right? I don't know. You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. Finished, done, in the dust. On to the next one. Good morning, darlings. It's Thursday. I am off to work. Shocker. And I did finish You Should Never Have Come Here last night. I did not start anything else. So I'm going to see how I'm feeling when I get to work, because I don't know if I'm really in a reading/listening mood today. And I have a lot of work to get done. So yeah, you might not see me until I'm back from work. And also, I kind of want to go to the gym after work today, but we will also see if that happens. Anyway, off to work we go. Hello, darlings. It's the end of my workday. It's Thursday, and I feel like this vlog has been really like lackluster, except for my father having a heart attack. Which he's home now. I forgot to give that update this morning. My dad is home as of yesterday, and he's doing quite well. So I probably will go visit him at some point this week. I just do not know when, because Gus is also going home this week. There's so much going on, you guys, that like I cannot even put into words how stressful and just like anxious I've been this week. And because there's so many like moving parts and pieces, things I've like needed to get done but can't get done because Gus has to come with me to work because he has separation anxiety. My dad had a heart attack. And like my boss is out of town, so I'm in charge of the hospital, so I can't just focus on my personal life and like get things done, and that is really just not jiving well with me, to be honest. I have been reading today, or listening to Sunrise of the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, the new Hunger Games book. Ooh, baby, when I tell you that I have cried in the first 18%, and now I believe I'm 50% of the way through the book, I want to say. Now, I think I mentioned it before, but I did not finish the Hunger Games trilogy in book form. I did watch the movies, which I know that those are different, but I did watch the movies. I did not read the books, and I definitely then did not read the 4th book, the Ballad of Songbirds and snakes or something like that. My husband did though, and he was not impressed by that fourth book. However, I have ordered the deluxe stenciled sprayed edge edition of the Hunger Games that's coming tomorrow, along with my physical copy of Sunrise on the Reaping, because I feel like those books are very important. I feel like with the state of the world, those books are very important, and I want to talk about them, so very excited about that. So I might go walk on my walking pad or sit on my Peloton, not sure yet, and I'm going to read something. I might pick up a thriller, or I might pick up something else, not quite sure yet. But I need to make some dinner, I need to let the dogs out, and I need to also just decompress. I've been like doing a lot of go, and a lot of it is because of just trying to take control of my life, but also because I'm doing this reading vlog, I feel like I need to be productive. But maybe I just need to rest. Maybe I just need to sit my fucking ass down and just not do a damn thing. So I'm gonna go do something, and I will, as always, bring you along for that.
I see the crossroads coming up ahead. A choice I make, but haven't made yet. Why do pathways feel so threatening? What ifs are never ending? Caught in the shadow of what might be, a future I fear, but still cannot see. Weight of tomorrow should be easier. What if I leap and it's not what I fear? Oh.
Y'all, I cannot tell you what has happened in the past, like, several hours since I last talked to you, but no reading has happened because I had a moment, okay? I had a moment that I'm sure all of my neurodivergents will understand, where I wanted to get something done, and I wanted to get something done now. Lately, I've really been trying to focus a lot more on the house. My husband and I are in a much, much better financial place than we were when we first moved in, and compared to several years ago. So we're really trying to focus more on the house, and we both decided that this room that I'm sitting in right now is going to be my office space. And then the room across the hall that we have, because we both have so many books, is going to be our library / workout room / knickknack room, because we have a lot of like Disney paraphernalia that we love so much. We've decided that we're going to really focus on like painting and renovating in the next few months. So today I was like, well, I've been just editing. This is gonna sound crazy and so privileged. I'm so privileged to be able to do this. So just know that I have been editing in my bedroom using my wireless keyboard, my wireless mouse, and my computer, and using my 75-inch TV. Yes, I am that fucking privileged, and I realize that. I recognize that so hard. So I've been doing that because it's so nice to edit from bed. But I'm sure many of you who are like booktubers or just YouTubers in general will understand that sometimes you just really want to sit at a desk and have like the stability to do so, and like just have the screen be closer to you than like across the room. You know what I'm saying? Does this make sense? I have never set up my monitors. I have a dual monitor set up here, and I have a dual PC set up. So I have been like, I just have never had the need to do this again, because I used to be a Twitch streamer, and so Twitch streaming required so much hardware, but I've never set it up again. And so I went looking for my 2 monitor cables, and I couldn't fucking find them. And though we don't have many boxes left, which after a year, the fact that I still have boxes left just literally fills me with so much anxiety. But anyway, there's not that many boxes left. But there are enough that when I couldn't find these fucking cables, I really started to just have a meltdown. And you know what? This week, I'm allowed to do that. I just started to have like a freaking meltdown about these 2 monitor cables, and my husband is at work and he's like, babe, it's gonna be okay. I will help you find these cables. Like, I promise you. Like, where did you last see them? Yeah, it turns out they were in the box that I looked in like 4 different fucking times.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
When I tell you that I went through and I tore apart the garage, I tore apart the room across the hall, I tore apart this room looking for these 2 cables, because the fact that they were both missing together, I was like, there's no fucking way. Yeah, there wasn't. They were in the box that I thought they were in, that I looked in 4 times. When I tell you that I looked in this box 4 separate times. Sometimes being in my head really is not a good time. But anyway, she is all set up. Would you like to see? She is all set up. I am so very happy. And I'm going to start working on some vlogs right now. And yeah, the plan is to start painting and decorating this room and getting like these shelves out of here. They're going to move across the hall. Actually, I'm going to get these shelves out of this house, period. I've ordered new shelves. And this room will kind of be like my editing room and like my craft room, just kind of like my me room. And across the hall will probably be my recording room. I am so excited, you guys. I'm so like excited and blessed to be able to like say this and do this. Let me know if you want to like see more of the renovation go on, because I don't know if that would be interesting to some people, like setting up their libraries for their first time or their offices. I know that's helpful to me, but I don't know about other people. So if you would find that content interesting, you just let me know. Put some like tool emojis down in the comments below to let me know that you would be all into that. But anyway, my phone is going to die, so I need to actually start working on some stuff, and then I need to probably head to bed. So yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble, and thank you for listening to me be vulnerable, because I literally about had a mental freaking breakdown over 2 monitor cables. We just love to see it. Y'all, this fucking book, oh my god. I am like at the dredges here. I'm almost finished with this book, and it is really heavy. I contemplated doing a reading blog for just this specific book, but I've decided that I'm just gonna go through and do a reading blog for all 5. So I'll be reading this book again after I go back and read the original trilogy. Because this is crazy. Now, I know I said that I have not read the original trilogy, just book 1. I've only seen the movies, but I felt good enough about my knowledge of the books in general, just from everything I've heard, watching the movies, things like that, that I was like, you know what, I'm going to read this book. The only book that I have not watched the movie or read the book is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because A, wasn't that interested, B, my husband read it and just said it was really boring. But I digress. So the point of this is that like this book is so fucking heavy, and you really are gaslighting yourself the entire book that everything's going to turn out okay, when we all know, because this is a prequel, that nothing turns out okay. And you just really are hopeful, right? I am not annotating this book yet. I will on my reread, but there are a lot of amazing quotes in this book that pertain to current events, which is fucking crazy. And I wish I could pull them up right now because they were so impactful. This one that I just read is why I had to pop on here, because it says, the arena leaves no time to properly grieve anyone, and I'm left feeling cheated, shallow, and cold-hearted. So this was kind of my complaint throughout the entire book anyway, any of the books really, is that it never seems like they have time to grieve, and it always seems like these deaths just come out of nowhere. Like, out of nowhere. They're in the games to die, but it just seems like that they're so quick, right? And they're really like, I kind of expected more of an emotional reaction from me. I think the only death that I've had an emotional reaction to, well, I can't say it because it would be spoiled, but other than that, none of them have really hit me the way that I should, and I think that's done on purpose, because it's supposed to show how, like, you're not thinking about the deaths, because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be going, and keep striving and keep trying to survive. And so you as the reader want to stop and grieve and think about what just happened, but you can't, because the narrative doesn't allow you, because the Hunger Games do not allow you. And I think that that's such good writing. Like, that's so fucking incredible that she's able to elicit that response. And me as a human being, I'm like, oh my God, this fucking is like stupid. Why are we not stopping to think about this? Because you can't. And it's supposed to be infuriating. It's supposed to spark anger in you, because as a human being, you would stop and think like, oh my God, this person is dead. You would think that, but we're not doing that. And that's just, that's like too heavy for me to think about right now. I don't know if I have words right now. I'm really tired. And I'm very emotional because of this week. I'm already starting to cry. Fuck. I'll do like a proper wrap up of all this tomorrow. I feel like I can't talk about this book and do it justice with the state that I'm in, but wow. I knew it was going to end that way. And there's so many Easter eggs in this book. There's so much that now makes sense. There's so much that's connected. I think the one thing that I will say that sticks with me is that with the current events of time right now, it does take all of us. And you can't, it does just take one person to start, but it will take all of us. And we have to remember that. And as much as we want to hide, because trust me, I want to hide. I want to forget. We can't. Because if we hide and we forget, then our world will look a lot like this. And that might sound crazy. That might sound ridiculous. That might sound so far-fetched. I'm sure that's what everyone thought during the Holocaust, during the Civil War. I'm sure that's what everyone thought. I need everyone to read these books. I'm so not ashamed, but I now realize why these books are so important. Because I think I was talking to a friend the other day, because I was like, God, Suzanne Collins is just coming out of the woodwork to make money. Like, she must be low, because obviously, like, I haven't seen writing from her since The Hunger Games and then Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But I was talking to a friend, and they were like, I read something that said she only writes when she has something to say. And usually it's something to do with politics. And that hit me, because I think that this is her way of saying we have to fucking be loud and we can't hide. And the only way the wheel stops, the only way the system breaks is if we do something about it. So yeah, loved this book. 5 stars. I definitely will talk about it and do it more justice in the dedicated vlog for the entire series, which will be coming. But yeah, holy shit. I loved it. Hello, my treasures. It is the end of this vlog. It is the next day. I have finished Sunshine on the Reaping. Holy cow. I have a lot of thoughts about that book that I just don't think I can do justice in this video. So I'm gonna just do a Hunger Games video. I think I already said that. I'm doing a Hunger Games video. I got my beautiful special edition set yesterday along with my physical edition. So I'm just probably gonna jump right in to a Hunger Games vlog. And I'm pretty excited about it because, like I said last night, given the current state of the world, I just feel like these books are really powerful, really needed, just really impactful, and I just want to read them. But just know that I gave this book 5 stars, and it is going on my best books of the year because it just has to. Like, it just has to. That's where I'm gonna end off with you guys here. Just a final update. My dad is doing very well. He came home on Wednesday, and my mom and I have been simultaneously like bullying him to sit the fuck down because like he's just not allowed to do anything. But I also just want to say a giant thank you to everyone who reached out with well wishes, who asked me how he was doing, who just gave me the time to take space and like take a moment to just breathe and figure out next steps. Because when I tell you this was like the scariest moment of my life, I'm not exaggerating. This was the scariest moment of my freaking life, and it made me sit back and evaluate a lot of things, especially the fact that my parents are getting older, as am I, and that taking care of them is an eventuality. So yes, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from me, hit that subscribe button. I'll be here all week, baby. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.